This is the show where two friends from different parts of the world discuss all things, all elite wrestling. And one of them actually knows what they're talking about. We'll let you decide. Welcome to the Beauty and the Beard Pro Wrestling Podcast with your hosts, Woody and Sarah.
Welcome, everybody, to our discussion topic episode for the week. This week, we're going to do a special one. We're going to talk about our top 3 moments, or memorable moments, from Daily's Place, from the, I guess you would say, the pandemic era of AEW, from their 400 and something days they spent at Daily's Place. You think this is going to be a nice one, Sarah?
I hope so.
Probably be a little emotional, too. There's some big moments, some unforgettable moments that happened during this period.
And we can only select 3 each.
Yeah, it's tough. It's going to be tough. 3 apiece. And no wild cards. We're going straight 3. Stick to 3.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's so many moments that are unforgettable during this time. It meant so much to so many people. So it's really going to be hard to narrow it down. I'll probably regret it afterwards because we really haven't put a ton of thought into this. So afterwards, I'm sure I'll probably kick myself because I'm like, oh man, you forgot that one. But we're going to do it anyways. But before we get started, don't forget to check out all of our other content. We do Dynamite reviews, previews and reviews of pay-per-views, Q&As, and discussion topics like you're hearing now. And starting August 13th or after August 13th, we will be having our Rampage reviews. So keep an eye out for all of our content that comes out each week. Also, don't forget to follow us on Twitter. You can follow the channel at BeautyXTheBeard. You can follow me at Let the Beard Play. And you can follow Sarah at Strange_Pixie.
You can.
So Sarah,
yes.
Are you ready to talk about some moments from Daily's Place?
I'm so emotional, but yes, let's go.
All right. Would you like to start this, or do you want me to?
I'm going to talk about a sad moment.
Okay, we'll let you start.
John Moxley had his title stolen off him at Winter is Coming.
Was that sad? Was it? Was it sad, though?
Yes. It was sad. It was annoying. It was all the negative words.
I'm not sure that was so sad. It
was wrong, and it was bad of Kenny Omega.
That's very subjective. Because I see it different.
Bad Kenny Omega.
It was an emotional night, but not in the way that you are saying it was. I remember cheering, jumping out of my chair when Kenny Omega won that title fair and square.
Potato, whatever. It was sad, and Kenny Omega is a bad man.
And he is the champion. And not only the champion of AEW, he is the champion of Impact. He has the TNA belt. He has the AAA Mega Championship. Need I go on?
No.
And he's also the champion of facial hair.
Well, John Moxley has his own title, so yeah. Anyway, I knew deep down that Omega was winning it. It's not that he won it; it's how he won it. I'm just disappointed in how he won it, and it just wasn't fair. And Mox deserved a better end to his title reign, basically.
That it was and all joking aside, that was a big moment for AEW because
a huge moment.
It not only was the end of Moxley's first reign with the title, which we assume he's going to have another one in front of fans.
He better do.
At least he got his title. At least he got his title win in front of fans. That was important.
Yeah, but I am very happy that happened.
Yeah, but for the title to change hands the way it did on Dynamite, not on a pay-per-view, was big, and it was a big moment for AEW and for Kenny Omega because it was really the introduction of the brand new Kenny Omega that we have today, and the beginning of the Kenny Omega that we have today, who's, love him or hate him, it's entertaining.
And the new super elite that is everybody.
Yes. Yeah. So it was the beginning of several things and the end of a big thing with Jon Moxley losing that title. I know it, and it really was a sad moment for you. It's got us to where we are today, and the stories that Moxley and Omega are on are pretty entertaining right now. So I think we're in a good spot.
I'm just happy in the knowledge that he's going to lose it soon.
He is.
I'm happy with that.
It's so weird for me because I will also be happy if it's Adam Page, and it will be Adam Page. I will be happy, but I'll be sad to see Kenny's reign come to an end.
I won't. I shall rejoice.
I know.
I shall put out banners and have a street party on my own because nobody else cares.
Oh, just wearing your Moxley shirt. Oh, that's great.
All the Moxley shirts. I've got about 5 now.
I know. Pick one. All right.
What's yours?
My first one it's oddly enough is going to come from the same exact show that you're talking about.
Oh my God.
That was Sting's debut.
What a moment.
Yes. There were several debuts that took place during this era. And it's so weird having so many debuts because the thing is, AEW could have held off. They could have said,
100%.
No, we're not going to, quote unquote, waste a debut with minimal fans or no fans. And there were fans present that night, although minimal. I think they were running at like 15 or 20% capacity, whatever it was. But for them to still not, they held back some during this time. We know they did with some stories, but I think it was still important to give the fans that were watching and the fans the few fans that were able to attend these special moments. And this was one of those moments. It was a big one for me because Sting was such a big part of my childhood, my teenage years watching wrestling. Him versus NWO was such a big thing. And to see him walking out on TNT again was awesome. It took me back, but then again, it was a special moment now, but I kind of became a teenager again for just a minute because I was marking out for Sting again. It was really cool. It was a cool moment. And those fans ate it up too. And that helped too. The fans that were there really embraced that. They went crazy. So yeah, just hearing that music, that new music that he has, which has already become iconic for me. It's as soon as you hear it, it's Sting. And the snow falling was a nice touch. I mean, it was great. It was great. So I'm sure you enjoyed it too.
Oh, 100%. I remember because my mum for some reason was at my house in the morning when I was watching it. I think I think my boiler was being fitted. Like, it's such a random thing. But my mum was around because she knew the guys, and she decided that she would sit in my living room with me on her iPad doing something. And I remember when that music hit, and I was like, what? And then you saw the graphic come up with the word Sting, and I just remember screaming my head off, like, oh my God, it's Sting. And I was screaming so much that even the boiler people came into the living room going, is everything all right? Because I was just screaming. And I was just like, it's Sting. And they were going, it's what? And I was like, it's... And they've never ever never had seen the same guys ever again, regards to my boiler. Yeah. And I've had it serviced. And
we're not going back there again.
I just think that moment is just iconic for so many reasons. And I think also the bit that sticks in my head with it is when he went around the ring and stared everybody down. And that moment when he locked eyes with Darby.
You knew.
I still have that moment, I think, saved on my Instagram and on my phone. As a highlight on my Instagram as well. It's still there because sometimes I just go back and rewatch stuff that just made me so happy. And I just watched that going, where we've come from that to where we're at now with them. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Such a blessing.
Yep.
Good times.
It's a big moment.
It is a big, big moment.
What is your second?
My second memorable moment from Daly's Place. Oh my God, I have no idea. Why did I say only 3?
I know. It was her idea to do 3.
It was my idea because I was like, we're going to run out of things if I say more than 3. I've got about 5 already in my head. Okay, I'm going to keep it along the lines of the belts. Darby Allin winning that TNT belt. Oh,
that's a good one.
Oh my goodness, like the sheer, like the desperation of it, and his face when he won it, and he did it all on his own as well. Like, oh my goodness, like I want to forget what happened afterwards. Really a lot where Team Taz just threw him into a heater. I want to forget that. I just remember like his face. And the crowd's reaction, and it just, for everything that wrestling is, and we know what it is, we're not stupid or anything, but that was so authentic. I was just, I got goosebumps from it.
And it's another one of those moments where you easily felt like they could have, should have, whatever, saved that for a full crowd of fans, because Darby winning his first title would have been a massive pop with a full arena, but they didn't. And that's awesome that they still gave us stuff like that.
I think there was a few fans, wasn't there? I think there might have been some, from what I can remember.
Even with a 15% capacity. And you're right, there were fans there. Were some. But it's still one of those moments that you feel like would have, the weight of the situation would have been even greater with that pop from a full arena that he would have gotten instead of 1,000 or how many were there.
Yeah,
and just that impact. But it's still awesome that they didn't hold back on these things. They gave us these moments like this, and that was a key moment because Darby Allin is going to be a major player for AEW for as long as he can keep going. Because as long as he can stay healthy, let's just put it that way.
As long as he doesn't actually go in a coffin.
Exactly. Yeah. But he is going to be a major player, and that was his first title win. That was humongous, and it happened during this era.
Yeah.
So yeah, good moment. Good moment.
What's your second memorable moment?
My second is going to be the first Stadium Stampede match.
Oh, thank God you said it. I was like, please don't tell me we're not going to talk about it.
I know that I think it's something that's going to be, and the second one was great too. The first one I still think feels special because it was the first one. And it was, the first one was more fun, you know, in quotation, than that second one. So I think that's what makes it stick out to me, because there's so many iconic moments, whether it was Hangman on the horse chasing Sammy getting chased down by, golf cart or whatever.
Sammy just getting chased.
Hangman hanging out at the bar, the one-winged angel out of the stands into the tunnel. Just some crazy stuff. And the reason I think that it really feels so special because it's something, where we talked about Sting's debut, Darby's title win. Those are things that would have happened regardless. Those are things we would have seen happen, and they would have been cooler for the fans. Stadium Stampede, if not for the pandemic, we don't have that. There's no Stadium Stampede 1 or 2 without the pandemic. And that doesn't mean I'm thankful for a pandemic. Good Lord, no. I would erase that match if we could do away with the health issues. But there's still silver linings as far as from a wrestling perspective. And looking at all the big moments and fan reactions that we didn't have because of the pandemic. This is something that we got that we wouldn't have gotten otherwise. And I think it will always be associated with the pandemic era because it is so specific. And it showed how creative AEW could be.
Yes.
And when they were put in that situation, what are you going to do? What's something we can try? And they went outside the box. If ever there was going outside the box, this was it. And it just showed how, when you put these creative minds together and give them the freedom to do something, it may sound crazy when you first hear it, but when you watch it happen, it was absolutely a work of art. A strange, funny, awkward work of art that it was, but it was absolutely a work of art. It was so enjoyable. Now you can talk about it. I'll shut up.
Like key moments from this that I remember is obviously Hangman on a horse. Like, I don't think you can ever get rid of that out of my brain.
I never get tired of seeing that.
No. And like, poor Sammy Guevara, he did a lot of cardio that day. It was just running back and forth. Like, he just got over the horse. And now it's golf cart. Bless him. And obviously, like, the whole Matt Hardy thing in, like, the pool, and just hearing Ortiz going, I can't swim. Like, I was like absolutely in hysterics. And where Matt Hardy just kept changing gimmicks, and also like the highlight bit of where Hangman was fighting Hager and like literally got like suplexed onto a legitimate pool table, like ow. And then just like him and Kenny having that drink. And I just also like from that, can I just say, the moment a bit of milk got in with that whiskey, I genuinely wanted to be sick. I was like, huh? No. Milk and whiskey don't go. Young Bucks doing stuff off the goal, like the football thing.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And that one-winged angel for Sammy Guevara. He just went. That was it. He was up, then he was down. Oh.
Sammy was the MVP to me of that. It seems like he's been the MVP of so many things too. It's great to see him now getting his due.
A great mention for Jericho getting run over by the lines thing that Hangman had.
That was great. Oh, and Jericho like doing that the Juice effect to the mascot, man.
Yeah. My goodness. And he wore the cone and did the witch laugh. Oh my goodness.
I used that GIF forever after that. I don't know if I just kept using it for random stuff. I was like, give me a reason to use that. It was just so great.
Just like that entire, like, if you want to call it a match, was just like pop central. Like, you just couldn't. And also I look like back to Hangman on the horse. The Hangman on the horse just strolling around Daly's place inside.
Oh, in the tunnels and he's just kind of
and then just got off the horse and expected the horse to stay. He just went, stay.
Yeah, and he got off when he saw the bar. He was like, bar. That's it. That's what I was looking for.
Oh my goodness.
We could talk for an hour. We could do a whole hour show
on that.
Match.
On just that one match. Actually. And like, we had no expectations for it whatsoever, and like that is like what I think makes it so memorable is just like they gave it, the idea was given, and everybody in AEW was like, yeah, we can do that. And then there's fans who were like, okay, I get it, but I don't understand how this is going to work. Oh my God, did it work? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it is definitely an iconic moment for this period, for sure. We would never see another Stadium Stampede match ever again after that.
If we do, we've got to have it in a daily space. So don't any other NFL team will let AEW run around their field.
No.
Have horse like shoe marks in the field and stuff like. They have to re-turf and stuff like that. Like, oh my god.
They see AEW rolling into town. They're like, no, don't even
turn around.
Don't even ask.
Oh my goodness.
All right.
Good stuff.
This is gonna be your last one.
I know. Last memorable moment of Daly's Place. Why did I say only 3?
I know. Makes it tough.
I know. I'm just thinking of all the debuts. Like,
there were a ton of debuts.
Do you know who I'm going to choose?
Are you going to say Snoop Dogg? You're going to say Snoop Dogg, right?
No, God, no.
Tyson?
Never let them things happen again. They were memorable for the wrong reasons.
They were fun. Fun.
I hate stuff like that in my wrestling. I hate it. Shaq just got away with it. Shaq just got away with it for the fact that he actually did legit stuff. That's the only reason he got away with it.
That ring, the bump into the table was nice. God, yeah. But go ahead.
So my third memorable moment is a debut. And I know the bad guys, I know. But FTR turning up in that pickup. Like,
that was nice.
Just when because we knew that they'd left where they originally were. And we really hoped they were going to turn up in AEW because it was like all the matches they could have there. And I think everybody wanted that Bucks and FTR match. And that was like the dream thing. And it's been like a meme for like the Elite forever. And when they turned up, I just remember, because there was no crowd. There was no crowd for this, don't forget. And I just remember, like, there was no crowd, but I just remember my brain going, I can hear a crowd pop. I can hear people in, like, their living rooms or wherever they watch Dynamite just, like, losing their minds.
I lost mine that night.
Because, like, that pickup truck then got used for quite a bit.
It did.
And
I'm sure we'll see it again, too.
Oh, and I just... Yeah. When they had that stare down, and then they just kind of was like, no, not yet type thing. And then don't forget them, like, they then got into, like, the whole Elite splitting up with Hangman thing, and, you know, like, kind of getting into Hangman's head. Hangman costing the Bucks, like, a match.
Yep.
Oh, my goodness, all that type of stuff. And we thought they were going to be friends with Hangman, but it was just, like, a double bluff. And then they got the belts off Hangman and Omega, and look where that led us. And now they're part of the Pinnacle. Now they're part of the Pinnacle, and they suit that as well.
Yeah, it was a big debut, and you're right. Like, the crowd noise would have been insane.
Yeah.
But you're right. If everybody reacted the way I reacted when they showed up, they were all losing their minds. That was such a big, because tag team wrestling is so much at the forefront for AEW. Yeah,
and that's why I love AEW.
To have that team, yes, because I know your love for wrestling came from tag team wrestling.
It did.
That's where it started. So it's really important, and it hasn't seemed as important elsewhere.
No.
And so it's a big thing for it to feel so important with AEW, and for a tag team of the caliber of FTR to debut. And it'd been, like you said, it'd been so much anticipated because of their online Twitter, whatever feud with the Young Bucks. You know, there was that built-in story coming into this. It was so good to finally see them in AEW where you felt like they belong. So it's like they were back home where they had never been before, but this is their home. So all right, my last one. My last one had to be on here because it was a show, and not just a particular moment, but a show that I can guarantee you, every wrestling fan that watched that, they will never forget that night. And it was the Brody Lee tribute show.
Oh my goodness! Oh, God, that lives in my head forever.
I have never watched a wrestling show the way I watched that night. And I've seen shows following the death of a wrestler before, where they pay tribute to him, but I've never seen a company honor somebody in that way, and he deserved every bit of that.
Yeah.
His family needed every bit of that. I feel like they did it, and the fans needed that too. It's not just something I think that just a video package would do. The fact that they put together that whole show and everybody's the wrestlers, just seeing the emotion on their faces, you felt every bit of that. It felt like you really did watching it. And I know, like, the next day after watching it, I was trying to tell people about it, and even trying to talk about it. I was getting choked up then. It just was, that show was so heavy. Yeah. And it was so, I'd say, uncomfortable to watch, because, we talked about how, wrestling is an escape. Yeah. You get 2 hours to escape, but there was no escape in that emotion that night. And it didn't feel like an escape, but it was still something we needed to go through. And is something that, I honestly, I don't know if I'll ever feel that way watching anything on TV again. It's awesome that they gave him and his family that night, and the wrestlers and us, but it's not anything I will ever want to experience again. So.
No, especially if it was like the whole like with Brody Lee and stuff. It's just one of them where when he came into AEW, like, because of who he was and what he had, not been through is probably the wrong word, but how he hadn't been kind of probably used in wrestling properly for a while, I think it's the best way to say it. When he came in as the Exalted One, the leader of the Dark Order, we all expected like this amazing debut, and it wasn't with a crowd, which still to this day really, really upsets me just thinking about that.
Because he was supposed to debut in his hometown too. Yeah, that's what makes it even worse.
You can just imagine what it would have been like. Like, thankfully, we've got imaginations that can help us with that. But just knowing that he had all this like prospect and all this stuff that he could do, and how much his Mr. Brody Lee character just from the get-go had such like a massive impact. Like, we've talked about people debuting so much, on this podcast, on Dynamite reviews that we've done, on like, other stuff. Like, I don't think I've ever seen a debut, let alone in like a normal kind of time in wrestling, more so in the pandemic era, where it's just from the start was hot fire. It was just insane how good it was. Like, did not miss a beat at all. Like, when he kind of had it where he had the TNT belt and he got that off Cody, and when they attacked the Nightmare family and he left that bits of that title over Cody. Oh my goodness. I just absolute sheer genius. And from that to bringing the Dark Order to what we love now as the Dark Order. Like, when he got the Dark Order, it was like a broken thing. Like, no one was for it, because it was just not so much their fault, but a lot of them guys had been indie wrestlers, never been on TV. They didn't have that experience behind them. Put him with them for straight away, and within 1 to 2 weeks, they were over. It was sorted. It was fixed. You can't understand like how much Like, that would have been difficult for anybody else, but he managed it. Bringing Anna Jay in. Like, Anna Jay, when she started, I didn't understand what was going on. Anna Jay now, I can't even imagine her as anything else apart from that Dark Order at the moment. She's so good.
He definitely became their compass.
100%.
I mean, he gave them direction.
100%.
Gave them absolute direction.
His BTE stuff. My goodness, his BTE stuff. That was so
papers.
Like, seriously, like, I've tweeted so many times after BTE, like, the Dark Order just gives me happy feelings.
Yeah.
Because it was just so wholesome. Like, the Dark Order were heels, but you felt bad for the actual Dark Order members. Like, they got bullied by this guy, but he was loved.
He created sympathy for them.
Exactly. And, like, he was the one, along with Tony Khan, that told John Silver, like, what you're doing in BTE, you should be doing out there. Like, this is, you're so good at this. And he got John Silver that coat. And it was just, and at the tribute show, when Eric Rowan came out and John Silver, Alex Reynolds and Hangman broke down with him, I literally was crying. And don't forget, I watched this in the morning. And I remember, like, the night before saying, I can't believe tomorrow I am going to be watching this wrestling show. And I want to watch it, but at the same time, I don't want to believe this is true. Because it feels like it was just out of literally nowhere. Because he'd been gone for so long. And then...
You're just waiting to hear the news that when he's coming back. He's coming back. Yeah.
And I remember, like, in press conferences and stuff, everybody was asking Tony Khan, when's Brody Lee coming back? And he's like, oh, no, don't worry, he'll be back soon. It's like, oh, great. And then we found that out, like, the awful news. And what I think makes it, like, just makes it more impactful is Brody Lee Jr. in the ring with his dad's boots. Like, and I'm sorry, but how AEW took the Huber family in. Oh my goodness. Beautiful. Like, I know so many people are going on Twitter like, oh, they're completely, like, you know, using a kid's grief. They're not. Like, Brody Lee Jr. wants this. I don't think his mom would let him participate if he didn't want to. Like, let the kid, like, have some joy and light in his life.
I think if the fans could see more of what happens backstage with him, how more of a family feel it is for him, I think they would think differently of it.
I don't know if it's because I follow his mum on Instagram, and I follow a lot of the wrestlers on Instagram, and there is so much that they do with him and like different wrestling schools and, you know, stuff like that, where his mum is filming it. She is there with him 100%. She's with him at every time. Anytime that he goes, she's there. So I think you should let a mother decide if her child's, you know, happy or not some general public on the internet.
Exactly.
Like, you know, back off. But also what's really sad is all the prospect that Brody Lee had in AEW, it was just gone. And imagine what he could be doing. It's just, it's so sad.
Yeah, and that they could not have put together a better tribute than they did that night. That's why it is so special, and unfortunate that it had to happen. Definitely, the fact that it had to happen was sad, and the show itself was sad, but it was so memorable and so needed. And I'm so thankful that they were able to put together that kind of show.
And I'm also so thankful that Brody Lee came into AEW, because without him, I don't think the Dark Order would be there. I also don't think the TNT belt would be as special.
And
he made that belt.
And he impacted so many lives he impacted that he wouldn't have impacted had he not joined AEW. Just the friendships he made and the knowledge he passed along to a lot of those guys that are invaluable. I think of people like John Silver. I just, I know the time that those guys got to spend with Brody Lee, it made them better because of it. And I'm thankful we just got to watch him for the time we did, because that's what we do as fans. We get to enjoy his work, and we got to enjoy that for the little time he was here with AEW. So.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah. So, wow.
R.I.P. Brody.
Yes, absolutely. So those are our 3 special moments, favorite moments, most memorable moments. Yes, from the Daily's Place pandemic era of AEW, and it's so hard to narrow it down.
I literally, I could have mentioned Santana Ortiz best friend street fight.
Yeah. See, this is where we're sneaking those extra ones. There we go. Stadium Stampede 2, the Young Bucks winning the tag titles. My God, we're cheating. We're so cheating. Cody Rhodes. Don't get mad because I'm saying Cody Rhodes. Let me finish. Cody Rhodes' open TNT title run, because that brought us Ricky Starks. That brought us Eddie Kingston. Yes, we got to see Warhorse. I mean, there's so many cool moments that happened during that run. So that run itself gave us a lot of things. So you got to give Cody props.
I'll give Cody props for that.
Say thank you, Cody.
Thank you, Cody. You still wind me up. Also, we got Anthony Ogogo.
Yes, we did. See,
say thank you. Say thank you, Anthony.
Thank you, Anthony.
There you go.
Don't
start that with me again.
Oh, okay. So some fantastic moments.
Yeah.
Some fun, some emotional. But all of those were memorable moments from an era of AEW that we were unfortunate to have, but also a moment that showed us, I guess, just how important wrestling is to us. 100%. If you're listening to this, I know to me and you, that this 2 hours of escape that we had during the pandemic era was very, very important. Some more important to some than others, but still important to everybody. So we hopefully you enjoy this. We would love to hear your favorite moments. I know everybody's got favorite moments from this era of AEW.
Yes.
So please share those in the comments.
Memorable moments, your best moments, worst moments if you want. I mean, don't want to be negative, but
absolutely.
Feel free. But let us know, because there is literally almost a year of wrestling you can go through.
I just know somebody's gonna leave a comment of a moment, and I'm gonna go, dang it, I forgot that one. It should have been on there. Yes.
So much. There's even stuff like more recently that we could have used, but
Baker versus Thunder Rosa.
Exactly.
See. Already. I'm reading the comments before they happen.
Sting and Darby with Ricky Starks and
in the warehouse thing.
In the warehouse.
Yes. See? Okay.
We're gonna have to stop.
So we hope you enjoyed this. Don't forget to follow the channel on Twitter. You can follow us at UTXTheBeard.
You can.
You can follow me at Let the Beard Play.
You can.
You can follow her at Strange_Pixie.
You can.
We hope you enjoyed it. Y'all be good out there and be good to each other. And we will see you on the next one.
Bye.